some expensive coolant over here. So let's jump right into it, guys. Doing the thermostat on a 2006 Jeep Commander. So we have to get at this housing here, and we have to remove 2 bolts. So we'll go ahead and we'll remove those 2 bolts after flushing the coolant, of course. There is going to be a little bit of residual coolant that's going to come out of here, so make sure you have a drain pan. So we'll take off these 2 bolts, and I will label the millimeter here, and we'll take it off now. So these are the 2 bolts you have to remove off the thermostat housing, which is plastic, so be careful. Do not over tighten them during install. So once they're loosened, then you'll be able to pull the radiator hose out along with the thermostat housing, and it'll come right out, and then you'll have your thermostat. So if you guys look at this, this is why I was not getting any heat inside the vehicle. If you notice, this is wide open. This gap should be closed. It should only open when it reaches a certain temperature. I'm not sure exactly which temperature it is, but there is a certain temperature that it reaches, and then it should open. As you can see, it has, this is a fail-safe thermostat, so when it is opened, it tends to get stuck open during severe circumstances. So you can see on that clip there, it's locked in right there, but this side is not locked in, if you take a look at that. So with that said, it's kind of cockeyed in a sense as well, if you look at it. And I just replaced this thermostat a year ago, so I'm going to go ahead and replace it, and I should be good to go. Oh, it looks like it's 195 degrees Fahrenheit, 91 degrees Celsius, if I'm reading that correctly. Let's see if I can get a... Yeah, I don't think my camera's going to focus on that. But if you could see in there, there it is. Yep, there it is, 195 Fahrenheit, and that looks like 91 degrees Celsius. So that's when this would open, when it reaches 195 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it'll close when it goes below 195 degrees. So with that said, this thermostat has failed. This is why I recommend going with the fail-safe ones, because if your thermostat closes and is stuck closed, then you may have overheating problems, and that may cause the head to warp and other severe issues if you drive the vehicle for prolonged periods with the thermostat closed. So that's why it's always important to replace your thermostat, and always get a fail-safe one. That way you can kind of save the motor. With that said, I just replaced the water pump, so I'm going to replace this thermostat, and I should be good to go. So let's go ahead and replace it, and we're going to install this back in with a new one. Right, guys, so this is what it looks like once you remove the thermostat housing. And this is the thermostat housing here. Just make note that there is a notch right here. So that notch right there is where your gasket's going to sit. So you don't want that notch on the gasket to be in a different location, because you'll probably have a leak. And what I mean is, you have a, see this notch here? That little notch is going to sit right here in the housing. So just make note of that. And then you'll put it in that notch, and then you can reinstall the housing and tighten down these 2 bolts. So that's what I'll do now. Okay, so everything is back installed with the new gasket, the new thermostat. So now we'll refill the coolant. So let it run, let the air bubbles get themselves out. So let it run for like 10-15 minutes. Make sure you top off the reservoir tank. Make sure it's full. Full line. Normally I check it for a week, every day for a week, and if everything seems good and there's no leaks and everything's good in the reservoir tank, then it should be good. But you'll start to see bubbles come up And that's how you know it's getting rid of the air bubbles in the system. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let those air bubbles cycle out, check it every day for the next week, and make sure that she's topped off on fluid. Check the heat on the inside of the vehicle, make sure it's nice and hot. And the gauge is working, that it's going halfway. Other than that, you are good to go. This issue, this thermostat that was stuck open was giving me a P0128, which is the coolant flow on the Jeep was insufficient. So you notice the change in the cooling system, and it threw the fault code, and now I should be good to go. So if you guys found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe as always, and thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, guys.